Hello. So today I'm going to talk to you about ringworm. A ringworm is a little bit of a misnomer. It's not a worm, it is a fungus that can infect cats and dogs and is absolutely contagious to other cats and dogs and humans. The most common ringworm carrier is actually going to be cats or kittens. There are quite a few adult cats that if you test their hair follicles or their skin, it'll come up positive for ringworm and they'll be non-symptomatic. They're just a carrier. But the classic look is little ring-shaped or circular areas of hair loss, scabbing, redness, and itchiness. In our cats and kittens and whatnot, the most common place is going to be on the feet, it's going to be on the face, around the ears. The ways that we can test for this in animals, kind of the most common quick test is going to be to look at their skin with a very specific black light. Not every species of ringworm is going to flare under a black light, but when you get one that does, it's pretty darn obvious because it glows like a bright green color whenever they have it. Another test that you can do is to actually pull some of the hairs and put it on a little growth medium disc and see if it grows. If it does grow, you can take a little sample and look at it under the microscope and try to figure out what species of ringworm it is. There's also some tests that you can send out that's like a PCR test that tells you exactly what species of ringworm you're dealing with if it comes back positive. Ringworm can be a challenge because it's not super hardy. It doesn't love to live in the environment, but it absolutely can. So it's possible for it to get on blankets and whatnot and transmit that way. Now, kind of our old school way of treating ringworm was to do creams or sprays or whatnot on the skin. It was a little bit of a challenge because if you have an animal that has multiple lesions, you may miss one and then they reinfect themselves. Kind of our newer age is to use oral antifungal medication. For dogs, we use tablets. We use some of our human versions of it because they're just bigger. But in cats, there's actually a cat-specific medication now that comes in a liquid form that's used to treat ringworms in adults and in kittens. It is a little bit weird with the dosaging because you'll treat for a week, give them a week off, treat for a week again. You'll do that a couple of times. It's so that you don't overload their system with the medication, you don't overload their liver, but you're still treating the ringworm itself. If you have an animal that you're suspicious of ringworm, go ahead and bring them in because, man, it can become a very annoying problem. It can transmit to the other animals in the environment. It can transmit to the people. Then you have to go to the doctor. It's just, if you're suspicious of ringworm, take your pet in. At least have them look with a black light so that they can say yay or nay if they think it is. That should be it for our ectoparasite talks. Haven't decided yet what we're talking about next, but if y'all have any questions or you have any suggestions of diseases or whatnot you want to hear about, just let me know.